It was a busy day on the iron soldier. Thomas was helping at the clay pit, working with Bill and Ben. A friendly engine named Timothy warned them that rain might be coming. If it starts to rain, these clay walls will really get unstable. We best be careful today. Afternoon, it did rain. The clay wall next to Thomas began to drip and ooze. To his surprise, he saw strange marks under the sliding mud. They looked like giant footprints. But what kind of animal has feet that big? Thomas wondered. Before Thomas could get a good look at the footprints, he had to hurry out of the way of a huge landslide. Thomas couldn't stop thinking about the giant footprints. The next day he rolled into the clay pit, but he couldn't see the footprints. The tracks were closed and covered with mud. Later, at Random Dogs, Thomas told Percy about the footprints. They're bigger than any animal on Soldier could make, he said. Do you mean they were from a monster? Percy wheezed. There's no such things as monsters, Percy, Thomas told him. Percy couldn't stop thinking about monsters. He didn't want to see anything scary. But later he did see a strange shape on the tracks. What's that? Percy puffed. I hope it's not a monster, raced to the dogs. It's the monster from the clay pits, he whistled. It wasn't a monster, it was an engine named Gator. Some folks think my young water tanks make me look like an alligator, Gator explained. Percy felt very silly for thinking the new engine was a monster. Everywhere Percy went that night, he thought he saw strange creatures. Old trees and haystacks became monsters. Filtering laundry on clotheslines looked like ghosts. Percy was so scared he didn't even deliver the mail. Thomas offered to do it for Percy just that night. James knew Percy had been afraid. Hello, Skildy engine, he puffed. See any monsters lately? Thomas saw giant footprints at the clay pits, Percy peeped. There might be monsters on Soldier. James just rolled off to the scrapyard. He was still thinking about monsters when he turned to the scrapyard and came face to face with a jagged teeth and crooked claws. Oh no! James peeped. Help! Hello, mate, puff leg. The scrap queen. Looks like that scrap heap gave you a fright. I'm not afraid of some old junk, James said. Down the docks, Percy saw Gator. What are you doing here? Percy asked. I'm off to a new job across the ocean, Gator puffed. My ship has been delayed, so I'm waiting for a new one. Well, Percy, wish I was as brave as you. You might be braver than you think, Percy, said Gator. Inspired by Gator's words, Percy decided to be brave and pulled the mail trucks by himself that night. His boat bubbled bulgy as he chugged across the countryside. Nothing scared him, not the flooding laundry, not the gray old trees. Gator is right, he tooted. I can't be brave. The next night, Percy was delivering the mail. He saw something strange on the tracks. It groaned and flashed its big teeth in the moonlight. Percy didn't want to be brave anymore. He left his mail trucks and raced back to the sets as fast as he could. The monster whistled Percy as he walked into the sets. I really saw it. None of the engines believed him. Percy looked at Thomas. There are really monsters on Sodor. Tell them about the footprints you saw. I don't even know about what I saw, Thomas P., but I don't think it was a monster. The next morning, Thomas saw James with a truck full of scrap where Percy had seen the monster. James, Thomas P., you made a monster out of scrap metal to scare Percy. It was just a joke, James replied. Not to Percy, you need to tell him what you did, and apologize. The two engines split up to search for Percy. Thomas trapped all around Sodor looking for Percy. Suddenly a table fault flew into his funnel. Oh no, Thomas P., I know where Percy is going. The day passed quickly as Thomas and James searched for Percy. Night was falling as Percy rolled through the clay pits. He stopped when he reached the warning signs. If I can find the footprints that Thomas saw, it will prove the monster is real, he thought. Then everyone will know how brave I am. At that very moment, James rolled up. He started to apologize, but Percy interrupted him. I'm braver than you ever be, Percy puffed. James didn't like Percy's attitude. If you're so brave, why have you stopped at the danger signs? Being brave doesn't mean not being careful, Percy peeped. That's what a scaredy engine would say. James puffed as he pushed past Percy. In the signs, he rolled into the narrow gorge. The cliff walls were still dripping used from the landslide. Oh, monster, James called. Come out, wherever you are. Suddenly, James saw something in the moonlight. It had claws and teeth. The monster, James wheezed. He tried to back up, but the walls of the gorge rumbled and tumbled. It's another landslide, Percy peeped. You have to go forward, James. The little engine raced ahead to push James out of the way. The rocks hit Percy and mud slid into his cab, and the big monster landed right in front of him. That was when Percy made the discovery. It wasn't a monster at all, but some sort of strange rock. The next day, Percy went to the steamworks for a good clean. He had lots of mud in his funnel and gears. While he was there, James and Thomas visited him. I hope we're still friends, Pete. Thomas. Of course we are, Percy replied. We all are. The three engines raced and whistled happily. That afternoon, Thomas took some scientists to the clay pits. They were amazed by what Percy had found in the mud. It's dinosaur fossil, one scientist explained. Fossils are what we call bones that have been in the ground for millions of years. So the monster was really a dinosaur from a long time ago, Thomas peeped in amazement. He couldn't wait to tell Percy. Soon the dinosaur fossil was put on display in the Nashville town square. Excited families and curious Indians came from all over the island to see it. A perfect segment of megalopsis, explained the old soldier. So Tobin had addressed the crowd. Today was made possible by a very special engine. Percy is not only a very useful fossil hunter, but also one of the bravest engines on Soldier. The people clapped and cheered, and the engines blew their whistles, but Percy was nowhere to be seen. Percy was at Brandon Dock saying goodbye to Gator. Gator's ship departed at last. I guess you have to be brave to say goodbye to someone too, Percy. Did Gator say that? Thomas asked. No, but he did say something else. Right. Percy puffed, and his friends rolled closer to hear. I'll tell you later, Percy said. Right now, let's give Gator a real soldier farewell. The engines peeped and whistled loudly as they could. They were all Mr. Frank Gator.